Right, let's talk about an anniversary today, a really important one. 25 years since the death of the legend Freddie Mercury, the rock star, former lead singer of Queen, died from bronchial pneumonia resulting from AIDS.
Amazing, 25 years ago. Jack is here, also Nazanin. Now, Naz is a massive Freddie Mercury fan, so I know you're going to be asking lots of questions in a minute, but he's still an icon today, of course, but few people know what the man was like outside of his stage persona. But here to discuss with us the life behind the scenes of the rock legend is his friend and novelist Leslie Ann Jones. Thanks very much for being with us. I can't believe it's 25 years.
Nor can I.
Incredible, isn't it?
Whenever anybody says it's a quarter of a century, I think, no, it feels like about 10 years. Actually, sometimes it feels like last week. And I think the reason for that is the music is still so alive. Everybody knows, your parents know, your kids know, the grandchildren will know. Another One Bites the Dust, Killer Queen, We Are the Champions,
Radio Gaga,
I Want to Break Free. These songs are indelibly in our culture, and so Freddie is very much alive because of the music.
We have the greatest hits in our car on a constant loop, and my kids love it, and they're tiny. They know all the words to Radio Gaga.
They know the lyrics, they know the melodies, they know the riffs, they know the beats, and those things never go away. And of course, now we've got them advertising sofas and nappies and that kind of thing. I feel a little bit strange about that, and I think Freddie would have squirmed. But on the other hand, that exposure is keeping the music alive.
It's quite interesting, isn't it? Because he was a global superstar, and, his legacy, it still felt, like you said, every day. But he was an intensely private person, wasn't he? Not announcing that he had, I mean, why should he publicly announce it? But not saying publicly that he had AIDS until shortly before his death.
There was a really good reason for that. His parents were intensely religious, Zoroastrian Parsis, and a very ancient religion. They protected their privacy, and Freddie very much felt that he couldn't come out in their community because it would embarrass them and upset them. So he was really living a double life for his entire life. He'd had leanings towards homosexuality when he was at school in India, for example, and explored a little bit. But then when he came to London in 1964, it was very much to live as a normal heterosexual man at a time when homosexuality was still illegal, of course. It wasn't decriminalized until 1967. So his first intense relationship was with a woman, Mary Austin. And in fact, his second great love of his life was also with a woman. But he preferred having sex with men. So he had this dilemma which he had to keep inside for the sake of everybody else's feelings.
What was he like as a person, as a friend? Because when you think of Freddie, I always think, legend, Live Aid, and showman, diva, maybe. But was that purely the business
He was
side of
the
it?
opposite in private of how he presented on stage. So you saw Freddie larger than life, a giant on a stage in front of 80,000 people in a stadium, commanding them in the palm of his hand, snapping his fingers, doing the AOs, and everybody would respond.
Well, we've got to get superfan Naz. I mean, Naz, why are you such a big fan of Freddie Mercury? I mean,
she looks like
everybody
Freddie
knows
Mercury.
you're a big fan.
She's probably his child, his love child. You look very like him.
Well, you see, the thing is, a lot of people would say, well, you weren't really around during the height, and I just about remember when the news broke when he died. But that's what's so unique and amazing about Queen, that even after his death, he continued. But one thing that I was thinking about recently was the fact that would Freddie have been so big if he didn't pass away? If he was still with us today?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, the thing about Queen, they were never cool at the time. They're cool now, in much the same way as ABBA are cool now, but not at the time.
Quite cheesy.
A little bit, but they were almost a send-up of the rock genre because they were
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Their virtuosity was way beyond any other rock band at the time, and they were consummate professionals. The songs were exaggerated and so over the top, and so were the performances. And they weren't cool at the time, and they used to worry a little bit that they really weren't going down very well. But over time, and the fact that the songs are classic rock songs, so they're not going anywhere. You listen to them now, and they're still as fresh as they were when they were released.
Queen, complete national treasures. And Leslie Ann Jones, thank you so much for coming in to talk to us about that. 25th anniversary of Freddie Mercury's death. Incredible, the passing of time.
We are the champions.
Is that your favourite?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop me now.
Mother love.
Well, We Are the Champions, always sung at sports occasions.
Yeah.
Not for Arsenal, though. Not for quite a long time.
No.